In my last video, I discussed the reasons why Primaris Marines, as presented by Games Workshop, don't make sense. I won't recapitulate any of those arguments here, so if you haven't already done so, watch that video first. Alright, so now you understand why their physical advantages are mostly useless, and how their greater size actually imposes serious problems on Imperial military operations. But what if you really like the models and still want to use them, like I do? And what if you want to use them alongside your legions of old, obviously smaller Space Marines? Is there a way to have your cake and eat it too? Yes, there is. But first, we have to give an alternate explanation for what these much taller Marines actually are. In my own personal alternate Warhammer 40k canon, Primaris Marine models represent not some revolutionary new breed of Space Marine, but the end result of the normal Space Marine transformation process on individuals that are already significantly taller than the human norm. Specifically, these are Marines recruited from low-gravity worlds, or from microgravity habitats in orbit. Absent the influence of a terrestrial strength gravity field, human bodies will tend to grow taller and more gracile. They will also be comparatively weaker, but it's up to you to decide whether that has an actual impact on the game, or if the transformation process fixes that. There is already plenty of precedent for this in established 40k canon, including the human subspecies known colloquially as Longshanks. The enormous abhuman Ogrins would also originate on worlds of lower gravity, though that differs depending on which edition of the game you're more familiar with. As I recall, back in 2nd edition, both Ogrins and Squats were attributed to high gravity worlds, which is quite the contradiction. For that matter, this can also neatly explain the smaller, chunkier Space Marine models from the early to mid-90s. These would be recruits from high gravity worlds. Depending on a chapter's recruitment zone, the whole force may be made up of one type of Marine, or, drawing their members from different habitats, they may have a mix. Maybe they even muster these divergent human strains into the specialized formations to take advantage of their size differences. The smaller-bodied Marines might be best suited for infiltration, the stockier ones to carry the heaviest weapons, the tall Primaris types for void assaults, and so forth. But even a chapter that recruits from a single world could have tall Primaris-type Marines if that world has permanent orbital settlements, or outposts on a lower gravity satellite or asteroid that orbits it. Now we must answer the logistical problem of finding vehicles to transport the larger Primaris Marines. The answer to that, I think, is relatively simple. Treat them as occupying the same space as Terminators. While the models are actually a little taller than Terminators, Terminators are usually broader, so it all evens out. Thus, anything capable of carrying Terminators, like a Land Raider or a Thunderhawk, can also carry Primaris-type Marines. Personally, I would go so far as to allow Rhinos to carry them, albeit only a demi-squad of 5 Marines instead of a full 10. So that's how I incorporated the Primaris into my army without feeling silly. Have you reinterpreted what the Primaris Marines are, and how they fit into your own army? I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comments. And please remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with your Warhammer playing buddies. I will be sorely disappointed if I don't get flamed by at least one GW apologist. Oh, and hey, if you share my enthusiasm for excessively detailed analysis of fictional worlds, and the overwhelming desire to make the fantastic believable and internally consistent, you'll love my heroic adventure novels. I have 6 to choose from and 2 more on the way soon. Links below in the description. Until next time, this is Mike from Attention Span Labs, signing off.